Sister said stop asking for money at Thanksgiving. I've been paying off her $79,800 credit card debt. The weight of the homemade pecan pie steadies my hands as I stand at the threshold of my parents' sprawling ranch house in Scottsdale. Through the etched glass panels flanking the front door, I can see the chaos. 18 relatives crowded into the living room, laughing beneath the antique bronze chandelier Mom inherited from Grandma Fletcher. For a moment, I consider turning around. Just getting back in my Honda Civic, driving to my Phoenix apartment, and spending Thanksgiving with leftover Chinese food and Netflix. But then Dad spots me through the glass, and it's too late. There's our numbers, girl. His voice carries across the foyer as he swings open the door. Morgan's here, everyone. I force a smile and step inside. The smell of sage dressing and roasted turkey wraps around me like a heavy blanket. My navy wrap dress, the same one I've worn to the last 3 family gatherings, suddenly feels shabby compared to the glittering cocktail attire everyone else is wearing. Oh, sweetie, you brought dessert. Mom accepts the pie with a quick peck on my cheek, her eyes already darting toward the driveway. Is that all? Just you and the pie? Just me and the pie, I confirm, keeping my voice light. Made it from scratch with Georgia pecans. Dad claps me on the shoulder. That's our Morgan. Works at that accounting firm downtown. Very stable career. Never late to anything. The compliment stings worse than an insult. Never late. Always dependable. Always boring. I've heard variations of this my entire 32 years. Mom's phone chimes. Her face lights up like the 4th of July. Oh, that's your sister. She's running just a little behind. 45 minutes and counting, I mutter, but nobody hears me as I'm ushered toward the living room where relatives stand in clusters with wine glasses and appetizers. Uncle Pete raises his tumbler of bourbon. Hey, the bean counter's here. How's life with all those spreadsheets, Morgan? I'm actually a senior auditor, I correct, accepting a glass of Chardonnay from the side table. And work is. The room goes silent. Just like that. Mid-sentence. Mid-breath. Every head swivels toward the entryway. My sister has arrived. Vanessa glides in like she's walking a Milan runway, 45 minutes late and completely unbothered. Her caramel-colored Burberry trench coat hangs perfectly off her shoulders. The Louis Vuitton bag dangling from her wrist probably costs more than 3 months of my rent. Sorry, she announces, sounding anything but apologetic. Traffic on the 101 was absolutely insane. Mom practically runs to her, beaming with the kind of pride I've never seen directed at me. You look absolutely stunning, honey. She touches the sleeve of Vanessa's coat. Is this new? Vanessa does a little twirl. Just picked it up last week in Fashion Square. The color just spoke to me, you know? You work so hard, Mom gushes. You deserve to spoil yourself. I drain my wine in 3 long swallows. The irony tastes more bitter than the cheap Chardonnay. Vanessa hasn't held a real job in almost 4 years, bouncing between consulting opportunities and freelance ventures that somehow never quite pan out but always come with impressive business cards. Dinner gets called before I can escape for a refill. I end up sandwiched between Cousin Amanda and Uncle Pete's new girlfriend, whose name I've already forgotten. Across from me, Vanessa holds court like the queen she believes she is, telling everyone about her latest business opportunity involving influencer marketing and luxury lifestyle brands. Morgan. Amanda leans in during a lull, lowering her voice. Can I ask you something about my car loan? The interest rate is killing me, and I thought maybe you'd know about refinancing options. I lean forward, genuinely happy to help. Actually, there's a program through most credit unions that could save you probably 2 percentage points. If your credit score is above 680. Not everyone wants to talk about money at dinner, dear. Mom's voice cuts across from 4 seats away, her selective hearing suddenly razor-sharp. She smiles at Amanda. Why don't you ask Vanessa? She's wonderful with finances. The table goes quiet. I stare at my plate, fork frozen over untouched turkey. 27 pairs of eyes watch the exchange like spectators at a car accident. Vanessa's laugh sounds like wind chimes. Delicate. Perfect. Fake. Oh, Morgan's always been the number cruncher in the family, she says, swirling her Pinot Noir. Always so focused on every single penny. My cheeks burn. I manage my finances responsibly. Do you? Vanessa tilts her head, one perfectly shaped eyebrow arching. Because you're always asking me for money, aren't you? The dining room temperature drops 20 degrees. 36 eyes now ping-pong between us. I've never asked you for money, I say, my voice steady despite the roaring in my ears. Not once in my entire life. Please. Vanessa rolls her eyes dramatically. Morgan, sweetie, you really should stop begging for loans. It's embarrassing for the whole family. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. My vision actually blurs for a second. The sheer audacity of her lie, a complete inversion of reality, leaves me speechless. Nobody speaks. Nobody defends me. Not even Mom and Dad, who know exactly which direction the money flows. Speaking of embarrassing, Dad cuts in with forced cheerfulness. Did anyone catch the Cardinals game Sunday? That last quarter comeback was incredible. Just like that, conversation lurches forward, leaving my humiliation behind like roadkill on the highway that nobody wants to acknowledge. I sit frozen as everyone else moves on, transported back to when I was 11 years old, breaking open my ceramic piggy bank to help buy Vanessa's cheerleading uniform. Your sister needs it more than you, Mom had said, patting my head. She has regionals coming up. You're the practical one, Morgan. You understand. The practical one. The responsible one. The one expected to sacrifice. I excuse myself when pumpkin pie gets served, slipping away to the guest bathroom. My hands shake as I lock the door, but my mind has never been clearer. I pull out my phone and open my banking app. The evidence is all there, laid out in neat rows like the auditor I am. 5 recurring payments to various accounts with Vanessa's name attached. Capital One credit card, $320 per month. Chase credit card, $285 per month. Wells Fargo personal loan, $450 per month. Geico car insurance, $195 per month. Discover card minimum, $110 per month. 5 years. $7,000 to $9,800. An average of $1,330 every single month. Car insurance for the Lexus SUV she absolutely needed for client meetings that never materialized. Credit card minimums for the designer wardrobe she uses to maintain her facade of success. The personal loan that was supposed to be just until my big contract comes through. The evidence of my sister's financial parasitism glows on my phone screen in neat, organized rows, exactly as an auditor would document them. Without hesitation, I select each payment. One by one, I cancel them all. Cancel recurring payment? Yes. 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 Confirmation messages appear one after another. Recurring payment cancelled. 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 I splash cold water on my face and pat it dry with one of Mom's monogrammed hand towels. When I return to the dining room, my pecan pie sits in the center of the table with several slices missing. There you are, Mom says. We started without you. That's fine. I slide back into my seat, a strange calm settling over me. I'm not really in the mood for dessert anyway. My phone vibrates in my pocket. The cancellation confirmations are complete. All of them. Final. More coffee, Morgan. Dad offers, pot in hand. I smile, genuinely this time, and extend my cup. Yes, please. I think I'll have another cup. For the first time in 5 years, I won't be paying for my sister's fake life tonight. For the first time in forever, I'm choosing myself. And it feels like the first breath after nearly drowning. Morning light streams through the blinds of my modest one-bedroom apartment in Phoenix as I open my laptop at my small IKEA desk. The coffee maker gurgles in the background, its familiar rhythm steadying me as I create a new spreadsheet. Payment history, Vanessa Harper. I type the header, my fingers moving with the precision that makes me valuable at Harrison and Associates. Each keystroke feels like reclaiming a piece of my soul. I pull up 5 years of banking records, methodically copying every payment I've made to my sister. The spreadsheet grows row by row, an archaeological dig through my financial sacrifices. 3 separate credit card payments each month. The personal loan that was supposed to be just until her commission comes through. Car insurance for the luxury SUV she absolutely needed for client meetings that never existed. The total appears at the bottom of the column, $79,800. The number sits there, accusing me not of generosity but of being a doormat. Nearly $1,330 every single month, more than my entire car payment and insurance combined, funneled silently to maintain Vanessa's carefully constructed illusion. I save the document to 3 separate cloud locations: Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. Evidence secured. My phone starts vibrating. Vanessa's name lights up the screen. I silence it without reading the message. But the notifications keep coming. Something's wrong with the payments. Call me now. Did you change banks? Payment failed. What did you do? The credit card company just called me. Fix this. Autopay declined. Call me back. Insufficient funds? What's happening? The messages escalate from confusion to panic to pure rage, punctuation multiplying with her desperation. 15 calls. Over 40 messages in just 36 hours. I place my phone face down and continue working on my audit reports for actual paying clients. By mid-afternoon Friday, the inevitable happens. Mom's name flashes on my screen. I answer on the 3rd ring. Morgan. Her voice carries that familiar note of disappointment, like I'm 11 again, selfishly wanting to keep my birthday money instead of sharing. What's going on? Vanessa says you're refusing to help her with something important. I've been paying her bills for 5 years, Mom. My voice sounds different. Steadier than it's ever been when talking to my mother. She told everyone at Thanksgiving that I beg her for money. So I stopped. Sharp intake of breath. That's not what she meant. You know how Vanessa gets when she's stressed. She exaggerates a little. It wasn't an exaggeration. It was a flat-out lie. And everyone believed her. You're being dramatic. Family helps family, Morgan. I helped for 5 years. That's $79,800 of my money. The silence stretches so long I check to see if the call dropped. Then rustling as the phone changes hands. Morgan, it's your father. His voice sounds older suddenly, tired. What's this about money? Your sister says you've cut her off without any warning. Did she tell you why she needs my money every month? She's been having some cash flow issues with her business ventures. You know that. Dad, she doesn't have a business. She hasn't had steady employment in almost 4 years. Another long silence. You've changed, he finally says quietly. You used to be such a kind person. The words strike deeper than expected, but clarity rises to meet the pain. I haven't changed, I reply. I just stopped letting people mistake my kindness for weakness. The shocked silence that follows tells me they've never once considered our family dynamic from this angle. The call ends awkwardly, with vague promises to talk about this later that we all know means hopefully you'll come to your senses. My phone rings again almost immediately. I almost don't answer when I see it's my cousin Amanda. Hey, she says carefully. Just checking in. You left Thanksgiving kind of suddenly yesterday. It was a difficult evening. Vanessa's been blowing up the family group chat about money problems. Something about you backing out of helping her with a loan. A bitter laugh escapes. I didn't back out of a loan. I stopped making her monthly bill payments after 5 years. Wait. Amanda's voice sharpens with surprise. You've been paying her bills? But she has that huge house in Paradise Valley. The Lexus. All those designer. All of it funded by maxed-out credit cards and loans, I interrupt. Which I've been making the minimum payments on for 5 years. How much are we talking about? $79,800. Holy shit, Morgan. She pauses. No wonder you always said no to our girls' trips to Vegas. A lump forms in my throat. All those years of excuses about work commitments, saving for a house down payment, needing to stay available for emergencies. The truth was simpler and more painful. I couldn't afford both Vanessa's lifestyle and any kind of life of my own. After Amanda hangs up promising discretion I know she won't maintain, my phone pings with a text from my cousin Derek. About damn time someone stood up to the princess. Call if you need anything. The truth is spreading now, reframing 5 years of family gatherings where Vanessa arrived in Gucci while I wore the same black dress with different scarves. Where she brought expensive wine while I made dishes from scratch because it was cheaper. where she talked about spa weekends in Sedona while I quietly mentioned staying home to catch up on work. The true test arrives 3 days later when Vanessa appears unannounced in the lobby of Harrison and Associates. I spot her through the glass doors as I return from lunch, oversized Chanel sunglasses pushed up on her head, artfully messy hair, and an outfit that somehow communicates both casual wealth and calculated distress. "How could you abandon me like this?" she demands loudly the moment I push through the revolving door. Tears stream down her cheeks without disturbing her perfectly applied mascara. "After everything I've done for you." Heads turn throughout the lobby. My co-workers slow their pace, pretending not to listen while clearly absorbing every word. "This isn't the place to discuss your financial situation, Vanessa," I say quietly. "Financial situation." Her laugh is high and brittle, echoing off the marble floors. "You're the one who's always needed my help, and now when I need you, just temporarily, you cut me off completely." The security guard, Marcus, glances our way with concern. "Call me when you're ready to discuss a repayment plan," I say evenly. Repayment. The word hangs between us like a live grenade. Her tears vanish instantly. The transformation would be impressive if I hadn't witnessed it 1,000 times before, the immediate shift from wounded victim to cold calculation when manipulation fails to work. "This isn't over," she hisses, her voice suddenly steady and sharp. "Not even close." She turns on her heel, designer boots clicking sharply against the marble as she exits through the revolving doors. I watch her go, feeling strangely calm in the aftermath of what should have been a devastating scene. Saturday brings unexpected support. Amanda shows up at my apartment with lunch from Panera and a sympathetic expression. "You doing okay?" she asks, unpacking sandwiches and soup at my small dining table. "Everyone's talking about what happened." "What version are they discussing?" I ask, grabbing plates from my cabinet. Amanda shakes her head. "The real story's getting out. Derek talked to your dad. Is it true Vanessa owes you almost $80,000? $79,800, I confirm. But her total debt is probably closer to $140,000 from what I can piece together." Amanda's sandwich stops halfway to her mouth. $140,000? How is that possible? They live in that gorgeous house in Paradise Valley. "Mortgaged to the absolute limit," I reply. "Plus 4 max credit cards, 3 personal loans, and the Lexus lease that's 2 months behind. I've been covering the minimums for years while she spent on everything else." "She was using you this entire time." Amanda's voice hardens with anger, while acting like she was the successful one. My phone buzzes. The younger cousins have created a new group chat called Team Morgan, without Vanessa or my parents. I'm still processing this when my phone rings with an unfamiliar number. "That's Garrett's cell," Amanda says, eyes widening. "Vanessa's husband." I accept the call and put it on speaker. "Morgan." Garrett's voice sounds strained, exhausted. "We need to talk." "I'm listening." I had no idea about any of this. The words come out rushed. "She hid everything. The payments you were making. The total debt. All of it." The raw honesty in his voice catches me off guard. "Thank you for helping her quietly all these years," he continues. "I thought we were stable. Turns out we've been living on credit and your money just to keep up appearances with the neighbors." I meet Amanda's astonished gaze across the table. "We're not nearly as financially secure as everyone thinks," Garrett admits. "Not even close." A strange weightlessness settles over me. For years I'd believed I was the only one who saw Vanessa clearly. Now others are beginning to glimpse behind the curtain. "I hope you can help her find better ways to manage things," I say finally. Amanda squeezes my hand across the table as the call ends. For the first time in years, I'm not alone in my understanding of my sister. And for the first time in my life, I'm not expected to be the one who fixes everything. The pounding on my apartment door at 11:47 p.m. makes me jump. 3 thunderous knocks that rattle the frame. I know who it is before I even look through the peephole. Vanessa stands in the harsh hallway light, arms wrapped around herself. Her hair hangs limp and unstyled. I've never seen it that way before. No makeup. She's wearing faded jeans and a plain grey t-shirt, clothes I didn't know she owned. I open the door but block the entrance with my body. "It's almost midnight. Please." Her voice cracks. "I'm falling apart." Garrett knows everything now. For a second, I see the little girl who used to crawl into my bed during monsoon storms, seeking comfort from her practical big sister who was never afraid of thunder. But then I remember the Thanksgiving table. Her voice dripping with false concern. You should stop begging for money. It's embarrassing. Still, I step aside. Come in. She rushes past me, pacing my living room like a caged animal. The credit card companies keep calling, she says. I've blocked 10 different numbers, but they just use new ones. And the Lexus, her voice catches. They're repossessing it next week. I hand her water in a plain glass. She eyes it briefly, clearly hoping for wine. Mom and Dad are heartbroken, she continues without drinking. You're tearing the family apart with this vendetta. I sit on my couch, watching her performance with newfound clarity. If I lose everything, it's on you, she says, voice hardening. Is that what you want? To see me completely fail? I wait until her monologue runs out of steam. Until the dramatic pauses designed to prompt my reassurances grow uncomfortable. When she finally falls silent, I speak. I've helped you for 5 years, Vanessa.